Start the clock.
Good afternoon. At the tone, time will be
Real time.
Welcome back to another episode of Supercoach Road to 50k. Nick Ness back with you, and a week of ups and downs. Some really big scores and some carnage with some players going down, injured. Fife and Rockcliffe being those players, and unfortunately for me, I traded in Rockcliffe, and he did it to me again. The amount of times he has done this to me, it's got to be 2 or 3 times now where I've brought him in where he's scoring high and he gets injured the next game, or he just puts up some dud scores. Terrible. I would have had a really nice week otherwise. We scored 2-2-7-6. We move up in the rankings. We're in the top 20,000 now, but it would have been a much bigger week if Rockcliffe was able to produce as he had been and scored a 120 or something like that. Would have been a really big week for us. But never mind, these things do happen. Big score. Neil went off this week. Lockie Whitfield's looking like a must-have defender, just roaming around, grabbing touches. So with that said, let's take a quick look at the team and see how everyone else went. So the 2 trades we made this week were Rockcliffe in for Martin and Callie in for Walters. And on Saturday Arvo, it was looking great. Like Heaney, who a lot of people traded out, had a huge game, and we kept him. And Martin just sputtered it up and didn't look good. And it was all set for Rockcliffe to play his old team and score a big score at the Gabba. And yeah, he wasn't getting much of the ball anyway. He was on about 38 and knocked out early in the third. Probably would have scraped his way to close to 100, but disappointing. He'll be out next week. And yeah, as I said, he was on my never again list, and I'll put him back in and regret it straight away. And I'm going to trade him straight back out and just never look back. So let's look at the defense. Lloyd, he's a primo defender, isn't he? 130 again. Lovely. Zach Williams didn't play well, but still scored 101. Didn't play well, I'm saying. He didn't get much of the ball. I was really surprised that he scored that high, to be honest. We take it. Brody Smith, down. A lot of people down on him. Listen, he's good for an 85 to 95 average. He's going to throw those games in losses. Not worried at all. Happy to keep holding him. I think he'll be like the last defender that I actually change. Also, Seedsman went down. Means more points for him, Malera, and Lair to share between each other. Scrimshaw, 64. He was struggling all game. He gets a bit of the ball. I think he had 19 touches. I'm happy with that with the rookie. I don't really mind that at all. Duzma, 66. He's been fine. Clark, 65. Once again, fine for a rookie. Not great. Not setting the world on fire. They're earning money. I think all the rookies this week basically had a down week except the midfield one. So the forward and back rookies, they were average, and everyone sort of started them. So everyone's sort of in the same boat. Actually, Rosie, defender / forward, he had a huge one. 120, kicked 5 goals against Brisbane. Looks like a real player. Price pointed at about 180, set to rise this week. You can still get in if you want to. He'll still earn you cash. I'm happy to just leave him out. He's a forward who comes up the field a fair bit, but for the most part, I can't see him like banging out those sort of scores every week. To me, it was a one-off, but he does look legit for the future. A really good player, just in general AFL play. Not forgetting about Supercoach. The midfield, lots of midfield high scores going around. Lockie Neal smashed it up this week, scored a 170. If you have him, good on you. I sort of betted against him and sort of hurting at this point, but I'm happy to sit and wait at this point. My midfield's set, everyone's scoring well, so there's no real room for him anyway. McRae, 139. Captain him. I was so upset about the Rockcliffe situation. I had the VC on Gawn, and instead of taking the score on Gawn, I went McRae, and it wasn't looking good at quarter time. He was only on 10 points, and I was filthy. But he was able to come back, score 139. Lovely. Paddy Cripps, absolute beast, 157. Oliver, down on his output at 95. Brayshaw, he sprayed the ball around, 108. Could have been much higher if he had better disposal efficiency. Crouch 114. Beautiful for his price point. Rockcliffe, what are you going to say? Knocked out. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. He will become Lockie Whitfield this week. I will basically... So Stack from Richmond, first game player from WA, scored a 102. He's a 102 price range, base price rookie range. Came in, scored a ton. I'll bring him in a week early. Everyone should be bringing him in next week at a minimum. He's going to earn a lot of money. So he's out for Rocky. Rocky out for him. And then what we're going to do is... I want Lockie Whitfield. He's the number 2 defender. It's him and Lloyd. They will be 1 and 2. Forget about the rest. And I want him in my team. So a Marty Hall or a McKay who's just terrible. He scored 18 this week, but an average of 34. He's not going to earn much money. I'll flip either Hall or McKay, depending on sort of how likely Hall's about to get a game, how long he's going to have to wait. Liver, 150. Wow, that's fantastic at his price point. If you don't have him, I'd strongly suggest putting him in. I mean, he's still going to earn a lot of money. He's got a very low break even. He's already earned, 79,000. It's nice. Welsh finally tons up, using the ball a lot better, still getting plenty of it. He's a gun. I'm really losing out on only starting one rookie in my midfield. So that's part of the Rockcliffe trade. So get Stack in, beef up my defense, and because Constable, he looks the real deal. He's getting 20 plus touches a game with ease in that Geelong midfield. Playing like, he's been playing for 5 years. Missed out on his 99, so I'd rather play him than play one of these defensive rookies. It's just more points on the table. Scott, 48, disappointing, probably gets dropped. Atkins, 33, disappointing, but he will stay in the team. He's going to be a slow burn as well. Might want to, a lot of people have him in your team. You might want to take him out next week as Stack. The Rock's gone. Yeah, what can you say? Him and Grundy are the one too. I sort of maybe a bit wrong on Grundy. Maybe he will be so far ahead of the pack again. But that's okay. He's going to drop in price and we'll get him in sooner rather than later. Goldstein, 114. Great. He was lucky to get that score. Didn't really reflect his game, I thought. He was very lucky. Only scored about 70 in Dream Team or AFL Fantasy. The forward line, Dangerfield, great, 128. Heaney, 20,000 people got rid of him. Paid back the faith, 137. Never in doubt, if you ask me. I said hold him last week. He's a gun. He will come through. And he did. Tally out for Walters. Now, this is something that really upsets me. So the first 2 games, Walters was literally 95% forward time. He wasn't getting enough of the ball, so I had to do something. So Tally came in for him. That's fine. And then Walters decides to get midfield time from Ross Lyon. Says, we'll just put him in the midfield for all the game. Scores like a 119. It's just disappointing because I could have waited a week on the Tally, on trading in Tally or off Howdert. And then I could have basically had a Whitfield in instead. And Whitfield comes out, scores like a 150. And disappointing. What are you going to do? Tally's a keeper anyway for the rest of the year. Injury scare at the end of the game, but I think he'll be fine. I think they said he could have come back on if the game was it was any closer, but it wasn't. So they rested him for the last 5 minutes, but he could have come back on. Drew, well, we talked about it last week. How is Ollie Wines going to affect those poor Adelaide players? And Drew was the one who was affected most. He played in the forward pocket while he was playing in the middle for all those first 2 games when he was averaging 90. Only pulled in a 36. But with Rockcliffe out next week with a concussion, he'll be back in the middle, hopefully, and post another nice score. But it's going to be a worry when Rockcliffe, Wines are back in. What happens to him? Does he really fit into the team in a forward line? Maybe someone else is better suited because he's really just in and under sort of midfield sort of type. So we'll see what happens there, but he should be fine for next week. Parker, 47, disappointing. As I said, all these forward rookies and defensive rookies, besides Rosie Collins actually scored really well too. Well, not really well, but decently for a rookie. But Parker, yeah, disappointing. Centre fielder Noah copped some grief in the comment section for calling him a spud last week. People said he tagged Rocky, and that was great. You know what? 37. He butchers the ball. He's a spud. Please, he is a spud. 37. He's a Supercoach spud. He had a couple of chances to score goals in that game late in the fourth quarter. Sprayed him. Disappointing score. Petrarca keeps going on for 58 points. And Bolter, he's a plotter, isn't he? 31 points. Hopefully he just keeps getting games, though, and earning a bit of cash. For St Kilda, Matthews, I think. Forward, he's playing ruck, 350 price tag. He's on the bubble this week. He has scored over 100 the last couple of weeks. He's definitely someone to watch for in the forward line. But other than that, how did you guys go? Post your scores in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I might come back next week or midweek, where we do something where we're trying to work out who the top 6 defenders are going to be, who are the top 10 midfielders, and sort of narrow it down so we can sort of be tracking towards certain players. Who are we tracking to? Who are we trying to get? Who's going to be going down in value that we can get in our teams? But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys did well, and we'll see you next week.